S10 is finally here. It's been unveiled, and it's wow, this thing is a massive change. It's the second biggest improvement that Samsung has ever made in a phone from the change from the S5 to the S6. So this is massive. It comes with so many features. So before you buy one, here are not 5, not 10, not 15, but actually 30 things you probably didn't know and that you need to know before getting the S10. Also, an exciting giveaway is happening at the end of this video, so definitely stay tuned for that. Okay, so at number 1, did you guys know that the iris scanner that's been, in a Samsung phone ever since the S8 has been fully removed? So yes, no more iris scanner anymore. It has been removed in favor of the new ultrasonic fingerprint reader. And here's a few interesting things you need to know about this. So it's ultrasonic instead of optical, which means that it's faster and more secure than, again, something like an optical fingerprint reader, which is what we have in phones such as the OnePlus 6T. So instead of shining a really bright light and basically photomapping your fingerprints, it actually emits a really fast, high-frequency sound that maps the fingerprint in significantly more detail than an optical fingerprint reader can. This means that it also works with the display being off entirely, and the unlocking experience is just so much better. And at number 3, if you still want to use Face Unlock, you can actually still do that, kinda. So you still have the basic Android unlock that uses the front-facing camera to read your face, so you still have that. It's just the iris scanner that's gone and the intelligent scan and all that. But this is what Samsung believes to be the future, an ultrasonic in-display fingerprint reader rather than Face Unlock, which is what Apple uses. Speaking of this, if you have a Samsung Galaxy S10e, the light model, the low-end model, it does not come with the built-in in-display fingerprint reader. However, it's actually on the side, built into the power button, which honestly is still a really big improvement from the fingerprint reader that we had in the Note 9 and the S9, which was literally on the back of the phone. And now here's something really cool. Did you guys know that the new Samsung Galaxy S10s actually come with a free case, a silicone case bundle inside the box? Finally, that's really cool because I always have to buy Spigen cases. Those are my favorite, not sponsored, but every single time I get a new phone, I'll look for those cases. But now I don't have to because there's one built into the box. And speaking of free cases, there's also a free screen protector bundle inside the box as well. So Samsung is only calling this a protective film. So yeah, don't expect this to be anything more than that. Definitely not a glass screen protector, but it's really nice to see that Samsung is including one inside the box. And speaking of accessories and stuff you get inside the box, here's one that's really cool. So if you buy the black version of the S10, it would actually come with black accessories. However, if you buy the white version of the S10, it would come with white accessories. Now, in case you're wondering, there are no yellow accessories for the canary yellow S10e, so you would still get white accessories with that one. And one of my favorite new features of the S10 is the display. I'm not talking about that cutout, that's pretty cool as well, by the way, and the almost no bezels on this phone, but actually the brightness. So this display is really bright. So apparently from the settings, you can max it out manually to about 850 nits, but if you go outdoors, it can actually go up to 1200 nits, making this the brightest display on any smartphone at the moment. And let's all have a moment of silence for the haptic home button. Yes, it's now gone. It's been removed. No more haptic home button on the S10, unfortunately. But you don't really need one because everything is based on gestures, by the way, in the new One UI interface that a Samsung Galaxy S10 comes with. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you will ever miss that. And also, did you guys know that the Samsung Galaxy S10s, they do come with a heart rate and oxygen level sensor on the back? So yeah, that's awesome. I mean, there's smartwatches like the Apple Watch, for example, that doesn't even come with an oxygen level meter, and many others. So it's really cool to see that in a phone, on the back of the phone. However, it's not on the S10e. So if you buy the S10e, it would not come with a heart rate or an oxygen level meter on the back. And you probably know by now that the Samsung Galaxy S10 comes with not 1, not 2, but actually 3 camera modules. No, actually 4. So there's another model of the S10, the S10 Plus 5G, and this one comes with an QVGA 3D depth sensing camera that supports time of flight. In case you don't know what this is, it's using lasers that measure the amount of time it takes for those lasers to be bounced back and picked up by the camera system. So they can measure the distance between them and an object. Apple is already using this on their Face ID 3D depth sensing camera on the front, but we haven't had anything like this on the back camera on any phone just yet. And now here's something really interesting. So you probably know that on the S10 and the S10 Plus, we get a triple lens camera system, and the new module is actually a wide angle lens, so you can take some really wide angle shots. Now, interesting enough, the S10e only comes with a dual camera module, but instead of dropping the wide angle lens, it actually drops the zoom module in favor of the wide-angle lens. You still get the wide-angle lens, you no longer get the zoom module that we actually had with the S9, the Note 9, and the Note 8. So let me know in the comments if you guys would prefer a zoom module or a wide-angle one in a phone, because the S10e has the wide-angle one. And that wide-angle lens is quite awesome, it's great. However, did you guys know that it has no autofocus or optical image stabilization at all? So for photos, it's fine, but if you plan on shooting videos in really wide angle, basically, with that module, please don't, because, you know, they're going to be really shaky and you cannot even autofocus with that thing. But the Samsung Galaxy S10s are actually the world's first smartphones capable of recording HDR plus 10 video, which is awesome. However, something that most of you probably don't know is that on a lot of Samsung phones, the S9, the S8, the Note 9, there was actually a recording limit in terms of how long a video could be. So for a 4K 60 video on the Note 9, for example, and the S9, you could only record 5 minutes of video, which is really bad, considering that, you know, you can have up to 1 terabyte of storage on these phones, which is insane. But you're still limited to 5 minutes of recording. In terms of 4K 30, you had a 10-minute limit. In terms of the S10, we don't know if there's a limit just yet, but there's a very high chance that there will be one, because we've had a limit for quite a few years now. Now, if you buy a Samsung Galaxy S10, if you pre-order one, you actually get something cool. You get free Galaxy Buds, the new headphones. You get them for free if you pre-order one. So yeah, link in the description if you want to pre-order a Samsung Galaxy S10 and also get some free Galaxy Buds. And now here's what I think is my favorite feature, actually, from the S10. So did you guys know that you can actually charge headphones such as the Galaxy Buds directly from the back of the S10? Not just that, but it works with any device that supports wireless charging. So you can charge your smartwatch, your Apple Watch, or a different smartwatch. You can charge even another smartphone wirelessly through the S10. And wireless charging has actually been improved on this phone. So if you want to charge the S10 itself, it charges up to 15 watts now. Okay, and here's something crazy about the S10. Did you guys know that you can have up to 1.5 terabytes of storage? Not even joking, 1.5 terabytes in a phone. I mean, most of you probably don't even have that in your laptop or computer. I mean, I sure don't. And you can have this in a phone, which is crazy. So the S10 supports up to 1 terabyte of flash internal storage. And then it also has the microSD card slot, which can expand the storage for up to 512 gigabytes of more storage. So yeah, that's insane, guys. Would you ever use that much storage? Probably not. Now, like I said before, there's another version, a fourth model of the S10, not just the S10, the S10e, and the S10 Plus. There's the S10 Plus 5G, but it has a few downsides which not a lot of people know about. So did you guys know that it has no microSD card slots at all? No microSD card slot in the S10 Plus 5G. Also, there's no clear release date as of yet, so we don't know when this is coming out. Verizon said Q2 2019, but we don't have a specific date. Again, we don't know when this is going to be released in Europe or Asia or anything like that. Also, it comes with a larger 6.7-inch display, so yeah, it looks a bit different than the regular S10 Plus. It's actually larger, it's a massive phone. It also comes with a massive 4500 mAh battery. But we don't know the price of this thing yet, so it might cost quite a bit at launch. Yeah, don't be surprised. And something quite interesting that I've noticed about the 5G model of the S10 is that there is actually a bigger dual camera punch hole than on the S10 Plus model. I don't know why, but yeah, it just, I don't know. It's there, it's bigger. And then Samsung claims that the S10 Plus 5G model, the one with a 4500 mAh battery, will actually last you for 24 hours of usage. That's crazy. Probably not with my usage. I don't think it will, ever will. But yeah, still, that's an impressive number. And because of that massive battery, the S10 Plus 5G actually comes bundled with a 25-watt charger, which is insane. Apple ships a 5-watt charger with their phones, the iPhones. So yeah, this is actually very close to the 29-watt power adapter that Apple offers with their 12-inch MacBook, a laptop. So yeah, that's crazy. You're getting an almost laptop charger with this phone. And here's something really interesting again about the S10. So if you get the 1 terabyte model as well as the S10 5G, it actually comes with 12 gigabytes of RAM. 12 gigabytes of RAM in a phone, 1 terabyte of storage. That's insane. I mean, you can probably leave a comment down below saying that yes, that's more powerful than your laptop, because you know it is, at least when it comes to the amount of RAM and the amount of storage. Obviously, the RAM in your laptop is going to be faster than the RAM in your phone, but it's still really impressive in terms of the capacity. And a lot of you were disappointed to hear that the Bixby button is still there on every single model of the S10. However, wait. Samsung announced that they will be releasing an update so that you can actually remap the Bixby button officially from the OS. Finally, Samsung, finally, after so many years, after the S8, Note 8, S9, Note 9, we finally have this. A remappable button that you can remap to every app that you want or every function, which is awesome. awesome. Also, what's even more awesome is that even older versions of Samsung phones like the Note 9, the S9, probably even the Galaxy Note 8 would also be getting this update. So it's not just the S10, it's also older models. Even more awesome. But wait, the Samsung Galaxy S10 also comes with something that might be even more awesome. Not really, but it does come with a vapor cooling system, basically a pipe that has a bit of water in it. It sounds cool. Note 8 had this, the Note 9 had this, and there's a few other phones like the Razr 2 that has this. And it also comes only on the S10 Plus model. So if you get an S10 or an S10e, it won't come with that vapor cooling system. And then there's this really cool new case that you can buy for the S10. It's called the Samsung LED case, and it has some LEDs on the back. So I'm not sure how it communicates with the phone, if it's Bluetooth or if it's, I don't know, NFC or something. But essentially it's full of LEDs and you can actually customize it. You can have different emojis and stuff like that on the back, messages. So yeah, it's really, really cool. It reminds me a lot of the HTC One M8 dot view case. If any of you remember that, I still have mine. And I love it. It's been one of the best cases ever released on a phone. Definitely my favorite one. And this Samsung LED case is very similar to that. Now, going back to the S10e, the display looks about the same, but it's actually not. So on the S10e, we have a 2280 by 1080 display, so Full HD Plus, versus the 3040 by 1440 on the S10 and the S10 Plus. Also, this display is flat, so there's no curves like we have on the S10 and the S10 Plus. And then also the bezels are a bit bigger, basically the equivalent of what the iPhone XR is to the iPhone XS. But unlike the iPhone XR, it does make more sense what Samsung did with the S10e, the fact that you have the smallest display on the lowest entry Samsung Galaxy S10 device. And now, if you're the kind of person that cares about VR like I do, the best model to get is actually the regular Samsung Galaxy S10, not the E or the Plus, the S10, because this one has the highest PPI or pixel density of all three, so 550. And yes, the Samsung Gear VR is still the best mobile VR headset that you can buy. However, if you have a Note 9, which I do, you need to buy a separate model, a newer released model, unfortunately, that was released after August, a 345 model. Fun fact. And finally, the last thing that I want to mention is the S10e, the fact that it's an amazing value. So this device is a really good deal, as in really, really good. So it comes with 6 gigabytes of RAM, the same processor, the 855 or the Exynos 9820 as the S10 and the S10 Plus. Yes, it comes with a flat display, low resolution, but it's still an AMOLED panel. There's no zoom module on the back, but you still have the wide-angle lens, and the frame perimeter is on the side. But aside from that, it's literally the exact same phone as the S10 and the S10 Plus. And here's the thing, it starts at only $550. The same price as the iPhone XR, exactly the same price, and it's even cheaper if you buy it from the UK actually, because Samsung does not do a 1-to-1 conversion ratio in the UK like Apple does. So yeah, for those of you that made it until the end of this video, we're actually doing another giveaway this week of an Amazon Echo Dot smart speaker. All you have to do is make sure you subscribe to the channel ZONEofTECH, and also make sure you're following on Instagram at ZONEofTECH, and then leave a comment on this post with a smarter PC case-like building, saying why do you want to win an Amazon Echo Dot smart speaker, and I'll be announcing the winners via DM on Monday the 11th of March. But yeah, thank you for watching. Definitely subscribe and notifications if you have enjoyed this video and you want to see more interesting, cool, in-depth videos like this one. Yeah, this has been pretty much it. Give us a like if you enjoyed, let me know. I'm Daniel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Check out the previous cool videos on the Samsung Galaxy S10. But yeah, Daniel, ZONEofTECH, signing out. Cheers.